Thank you everyone for joining me. I'm really excited to do this. My intention is just sort of like what the title says, is do a little check-in in the middle of the week to center ourselves, sort of be, to be guided through these different practices, to answer any questions you may have about any of the pranayama we'll be doing. And each week I'm going to do a different pranayama. So that we can sort of just familiarize ourselves with different ways of cultivating prana in our body. And that prana is just energy, right? So pranayama is a way to increase the amount of energy in our body, which brings vitality, right? Which brings life into our system. The more prana we have in our sort of in energetic batteries in our storehouse, in our system, the healthier we are, right? The more resilient we become to whatever the stresses of life bring us. The other way in which we develop prana beyond breathing, meditation's another way in which we can develop prana. But food, water, sunshine, moonlight, sitting in the moonlight or watching the sunrise, things like that. So just really basic things. But while doing those things, sort of opening yourself and being receptive to them. Like eating food, we can eat food and our body can't absorb it, right? So, so then we're not getting the energy that we could be getting from our food. So when those sorts of things happen, that's when pranayama or meditation can then sort of help make up for what we can't get from our food or from our environment, and vice versa. Like if we have very stressful lives where our breath is sort of shorter, or we have medical conditions where we can't breathe very deeply, then we have to rely on receiving that energy in other ways, right? So when we're aware of these different tools, we can sort of, okay, I'm not able to get it from my environment, so I'm going to cultivate my, meditation practice and bring life back into my system that way. Okay. So the pranayama I picked today is so funny because it's for the person who's not here, but it's a lovely pranayama. It's one of my favorites. And Katie, we may have done this before. I don't remember, but it comes from the Kundalini tradition of yoga. And that tradition is very focused on energy, moving energy, cultivating energy, deepening awareness of our subtle parts. And this kriya, in sort of my experience doing it, is very centering, very I don't even want to say it's grounding, because that's not what I feel from it. I just feel balanced, right? Sort of what's been written about this mudra is that, or not this mudra, this pranayama, is that it helps to deepen the lung capacity, deepen the breath. You can feel centered and more calm. It helps to coordinate both hemispheres of the brain and deepen insight, so into your internal world. And it's sort of been written, this is a great pranayama to do when you don't know what to do, for that very reason, right? It's just sort of very centering. Before we get into the actual practice, are there any questions about anything I've said? No? Okay, great. So for this one specifically, we do use a mudra, which is just a hand position. And either hand can be placed on the top or the bottom. Doesn't matter. The part that is significant is the crossing of the thumbs. Right? So this one just stacks on top of the other. And then the hands hover in front of the heart space. So elbows are soft and dropped down along the sides of the body. And before we do the breath, I'll just talk us through the 4 cycles of the breath. So this is the mudra. We hold the mudra the whole time. But the other thing I want to say about this breath is that I find doing this breath, it is very easy to breathe deeply. And I think as you do it, as we spend time with it, you'll also sort of discover that for yourself. Because I've had many other people who I've led this through say the same thing. So just to go back to do the mudra, Randy, this is a little review for you. For this mudra, for this pranayam, we place one hand on top of the other hand and we cross our thumbs, right? So it's like that. And then we keep our hands this way the whole time, and the hands hover over our heart. Okay? The breath is in 4 parts, and so I'll talk us through it before we actually do it. The first breath is in through the nose and out through the nose. Long and deep and smooth as you can make it. The second breath is in through the mouth and out through the mouth. But we want to bring the sides of our lips together. And there's these 2 marma points here, which are vital energy centers that get activated when we do this. So it's going to be as if you're sipping through a straw, right? But not quickly, slowly. So the third breath is in through the nose. Then we breathe out of the mouth in that same way. And then the fourth breath is in through the mouth and then out through the nose. Okay, so I'll repeat that pattern again. First breath is in through the nose, out through the nose. Second breath is in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Third breath is in through the nose, out through the mouth. And the fourth breath is in through the mouth and out through the nose. Okay. So let's find our mudra. And, if you want to turn the video off, feel free to. Make sure you're in a comfortable seat. It is important that we do sit up, specifically for this pranayam. Some of it doesn't matter, but for this one, we do need to sit up for this one. And we'll find our mudra. So it's placing one hand on top of the other hand, crossing the thumbs. And I'm going to record this too. So just like this, one palm on top of the other palm, crossing the thumbs, hovering the hands over the heart space, and closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to settle in. Being with your breath the way it is right now. Just noticing where you are experiencing your breath. Just noticing the temperature of your breath. and the quality of your breath as it moves in and out of your nose. And gently just expand your breath, consciously and intentionally breathing in more deeply. Gently pushing the edges of your breath and if you aren't yet feeling your breath in your lower abdomen, see if you can drop it down to that space. So as you breathe in, feeling your belly expand, as you breathe out, feeling your belly soften, softening in towards your center. And allow this simple belly breathing act like an anchor for your energy in your vessel, in your body. And together we'll take a clearing breath in through the nose. Release all the air out through the mouth. We'll do that one more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And we'll start our breathing pattern. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Pursing the lips in through the mouth. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the mouth. And out through the nose. In through the nose. Out through the nose. In through the mouth. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the mouth. Out through the nose. In through the nose. Out through the nose. In through the mouth. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the mouth. Out through the nose. Continuing on in this pattern. Each breath full and deep. Following your breath. As it moves in and out of your body. And if you need to stop at any time, you can. You can always start up when you're ready. surrendering to the practice. We have about 3 minutes left. We'll do one more complete round through all 4 breaths. Just taking your time. Once you've gone through your last round, just releasing your hands down to your lap and observe. Allow the effects of the practice to integrate. Noticing any sensations in your body. Noticing the quality of your natural breath. And we'll take some time here just to listen. Listening to the voice that doesn't use words. And being okay with the stillness and the quiet. And bringing your awareness to your heart center. And without changing your breath, by simply holding the intention, so begin to breathe in and out of that space. As if your heart is pulling in air, pulling in prana. and releasing the old air, the old energy out. And sensing in any way that it's available to you that as you breathe in and out of your heart space, you are creating space. So allowing your breath to naturally move the pace of this intention with what you are experiencing. And as you breathe in and out of your heart space, creating more space, noticing what you find, what comes up. Noticing and feeling without any expectation or judgment. And we'll gently release this exploration of the heart space. Together, we'll take a full breath in, full breath out. Just moving your fingers, You're rubbing your thumb tip along your fingertips. And opening and closing your eyes a few times, integrating your inner world with your outer world. So that is our pranayam for this week, our meditation. And I don't believe I said the name of the pranayam. It's called GYAN Mudra Pranayam, or GYAN Mudra Kriya, I should say.